It's time to recap the Week 14 games of the 2016 NFL season. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. It's time to recap NFL Week 14 of the 2016 NFL season. Remember, I'm only going to talk about the games I have not made an individual video about. So if I do not talk about it here, it is because I've already talked about it. Go onto my channel and find the specific video you are looking for. So let's start chronologically this time. And I did not talk about the Thursday Night Football game, so let's talk about it here. Chiefs get it done against the Oakland Raiders, and I picked the Chiefs to win this game, and I felt that, hey, this game is in Kansas City. It's going to be freaking cold. It's on a Thursday night. Oakland had a game against the Buffalo Bills. They won pretty easily, but, they've been going up against some tough teams lately, having some, longer games, some higher scoring games. I felt they're going to come out flat. They did. I wouldn't put too much stock into this game. I really don't think it matters at all. I just think that the Raiders on a Thursday night came out flat. I think that's all that happened. And the Chiefs, congratulations, you won, but it was mainly due to a second quarter explosion. You really can't buy into this Chiefs offense throughout an entire football game and going to the playoffs and doing something different than what they've done in the past 3 years, where they've gone to the playoffs and lost. Except one of those years they didn't even make the playoffs, but where they went to the Patriots, they went to New England, and they just lost. Okay, they went up against the Indianapolis Colts, and they just lost. There's not enough reason for me to believe yet that this year will be different, but hey, you won the game. Congratulations. And Raider fans, I'd be fine. Will you win the division? I really don't know right now. I think it's completely 50-50, but I'd have to lean Chiefs for right now, but man, it's so close. We move on to the Sunday games. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals choking and losing in Miami, and I'm so pissed, right? Because I had the Cardinals winning this game foolishly. I told myself, look, this Dolphins team is good at home. This Cardinals team sucks on the road. But after the Dolphins' performance last week against Baltimore, my dumbass decided, hey, obviously there's something wrong here. They're going to lose again. I was wrong. Now, the Cardinals, oh God, I don't know why they continue to underwhelm. I don't know why. Bruce Arians, no one's going to talk about him, but I think you have to point at him and look at him, right? Because his whole football team is underwhelming to their talent level. They still have, in terms of intrinsic and just empirical talent, innate talent, they're still one of the most talented teams in the NFL, but they're just not playing up to that level. Who do you look at? The head coach. No one's going to talk about it, and maybe he's, earned that now, but no one's talking about it. No one's looking at him. We should be talking about him and looking at him because they should not be 5-7-1 when you look at their freaking talent. But anyway, Dolphins, they're back in the playoff discussion. Now, will they make it? I'm not so sure. I think their last couple games are tough, divisional games where you just can't buy they're going to win them all, like at New York. I believe they also have to go at Buffalo. Don't love that, but we'll see. It's so close right now, but I'd lean that they're going to miss the playoffs more than I'd lean that they're going to make it right now. And Cardinals, I don't know what to say. We move on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns are in serious trouble. They lose yet again now, 0-13 on the season. Cincinnati, they get another W. They're salvaging their season a little bit. Not saving it, but salvaging it, right? Because they're not going to be able to make the playoffs, but at least they'll have a decent record, which I'm not sure if you really want. Personally, I would prefer to stay at the top of the draft, but hey, you're winning games. Okay, keep winning games. Now, let's talk about the Bengals first. I mean, you played a good game. You like Tyler Boyd and the way he's progressing right now, and you like that you're finally starting to get some protection from Andy Dalton. So that's nice. Now you look at these Cleveland Browns. There's two more chances, right? And one of them could be a serious chance. Now the one that's less serious is against the San Diego Chargers in Week 16. Although you do face the Buffalo Bills in Week 15, I don't buy that you can win that game. So the San Diego Chargers in Week 16. The Chargers have been known to lose games like this, and they went to Carolina today, and they laid an absolute egg. Now Melvin Gordon could miss some serious time as well. So you could win that. And then after that, though, no one's talking about this, but hey, guys, let's think critically for a second. Their Week 17 game is against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, if you look at their upcoming schedule, they could have this division clinched after Week 16, after their matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. That game could be meaningless for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not only would that game be clinched, but also the number 3 seed would be clinched, as well as the AFC South winner I'm projecting would only be 9-7. Okay, so you're talking about the Steelers having no reason to win this game. They're going to rest their players. This will allow the Cleveland Browns to win a game against Landry Jones and D'Angelo Williams and Eli Rogers. Now, they could still lose that, but it's a chance, so look out for that. Let's move on. Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. And, Lions, y'all won me money today because I knew y'all were not going to cover this -8 spread. I don't know why this is your move, saying, hey, let's not do anything until we have to, but fine. It's your stupid move. Stafford didn't play very well. I believe he had a pick 6. In fact, I know he did. And I believe he had another interception on top of that, but they won the game. And Matt Barkley, look, I know some Chicago guys are very happy at how the Chicago Bears are playing. Oh, the Bears are playing well. Bears. But look, look, Matt Barkley could be our starting quarterback. Bears. Shut up. You need another quarterback in there, okay? Matt Barkley, don't buy into this nonsense. I remember a couple years ago, Zach Mettenberger almost stopped the Tennessee Titans from drafting Marcus Mariota. Mike Glennon almost stopped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from drafting Jameis Winston. Do not fall in love with these late season quarterbacks who aren't very good. Don't let them stop you from drafting your next guy. You draft your next guy. Yeah, let's move on. Minnesota Vikings at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it appeared as if the Vikings were real close to choking this one away, but they got it done. I think they're in trouble next week as they host the Indianapolis Colts. I have the Colts winning that game, and I don't think I'm going to change on that at all. They're still not impressing with the Vikings. I mean, how could they? They've won 2 games since week 6 or week 7, and they've been horrible. They've only beaten the Arizona Cardinals and now the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who cares, right? You can't buy into them. How could you? They don't have a run game. They don't have anyone, not even a semblance of a run game. But don't you worry, because Captain Blake Bortles, the guy that is an absolute loser, the guy that's an absolute clown, will come and save the day for your football team as he gives you whatever he gives you. In fact, did he have an interception today? I'm not even sure if he did, but if he didn't, and he didn't, surprisingly and shockingly, but he still didn't win the game, right? Because he's a loser, okay? Because he's an loser loser, and at least you have Marquise Lee, okay, who's doing something now. So you look at that and you say, hey, we have 3 wide receivers now, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a quarterback who can distribute it and win games for you. Get a new quarterback. Honestly, I'm sorry. Get a new quarterback. Let's move on to the Houston Texans defeating the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, Houston. Now, Brock Osweiler today still had a horrible stat line, right? Because I didn't watch the game yet, but the stat line doesn't look good. No touchdowns, 1 interception. But they won the game. And Lamar Miller, who I expected a little bit more from this season, he's been fine, but I expected a little bit more. He was the Lamar Miller that I thought he would be, a guy that actually leads his team to victory from time to time, and he was that today. Still, DeAndre Hopkins is not involved in the offense, mainly because Osweiler stinks, but it's the truth. So can the Texans, or will the Texans win the division? Right now, I'm projecting no, but it's still very much up in the air. If they win their next 2 games, it is over. Okay, it's 100% over. If they can beat the Jags and the Bengals, who are under 500, it is over. However, the Bengals are salvaging their season, as I said earlier, and I think they're going to beat you. I really do. It's going to be close. If you win your next 2, it's over. You won the division. Congratulations, Houston Texans. But I don't think you will. We'll see what happens. Although I did not believe you win this one either, so that's something to say for you. And Colts, you had a chance and you blew it. Now you have to win your last 3 games. 2 of which I actually believe you will win. I believe you will go 2-1 your last 3. But I don't see how you're going to go to Oakland and defeat the Oakland Raiders. I'm not buying it. The Raiders have lost 3 games this year, 2 of which were to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not buying that you are going to beat them. We'll see, but I doubt it. I think you blew it today. Big time. We move on to Tampa Bay as Tampa Bay defeats the New Orleans Saints. And, this game, I believe it was just drenching in rain. Drew Brees had a horrible game. 3 interceptions, second straight game with 3 interceptions. And it's very unfortunate as he is blowing the Saints' chances, although I never really bought into their chances to make the playoffs anyway, but he's blowing it. And it's very unfortunate for their football team. Their defense is playing better, but now their offense stinks. So if only they could be in sync. The Saints are so infuriating. I feel so sorry for Saints fans. Whenever their defense is freaking good, their offense stinks. And then whenever their offense is good, their defense stinks. Except for whenever they face the LA/St. Louis Rams, right? I don't know why it's just the case, but that's just the deal. For the Bucs, you keep winning games. And everyone's looking at next week as you guys go to Dallas and saying, okay, Dallas is going to win that game. I'm saying why? Because I think you guys are playing just as well as the Cowboys are right now. You've won 5 straight games. Your defense is spectacular. And you guys will be able to move the football consistently on that Cowboys defense. I think the Bucs stand a very good shot against the Cowboys next week. We'll see how the Cowboys perform tonight. If they lose tonight, I'll be less inclined to pick you, actually. It's surprising, but it's true. We'll see. But I really like your chance next week. I really do, more than a lot of people are talking about. Let's move on to the the San Francisco 49ers. Choking the game away against the New York Jets, and I'm pissed because I had the 49ers winning this game, and they let me down big time, as this team was up 14-0 early, and they absolutely systematically blew this game away. Chip Kelly, after this game, I'm firing him, okay? I don't know what he was doing late. I thought his play calling was awful, just terrible. Not taking advantage of Colin Kaepernick at all. Running the ball on a 4th and 1. It didn't make any sense to me what he was doing at the end of this game. The 49ers don't want to win games. They want to go 1-15 in a season in which another team goes 0-16. I don't understand it. But that's what they want to do. I don't get it. Get rid of them. Please get rid of them. Because honestly, if you could win this game, that's coaching to me. I mean, this 14-0, you're up on Bryce Petty. Bryce Petty, this guy is so bad. And still, you made him look like a competent quarterback today. Get rid of him. Get rid of Jim O'Neill, that high school coach. Get rid of these guys. They're so bad. They're so awful. I'm tired of looking at them. I'm sick of talking about them. As for the Jets, you win a game. Congratulations. You're ruining your draft position. I think you will still be 5th after today, but now you're tied with the Rams/the Titans because the Titans own that pick. So I think this loss hurts you more than helps you. But whatever you want. Next week, why don't you go beat Miami 2 and hurt your draft position even more, getting yourself out of the running for a franchise quarterback. Let's move on to the Washington Redskins against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not going in chronological order anymore, by the way, if you haven't noticed. The Redskins get it done against the Eagles, and look, they held on. Their defense surprisingly held on after what was an ugly start. And you have to be impressed by Kirk Cousins' ability at the end of the game to lead his team down and score a touchdown to go ahead. Although Chris Thompson scored the touchdown, but still. Okay, so Kirk Cousins leads a big drive. Give him his money already, damn it. Are y'all really going to let Kirk Cousins go? Y'all know what the quarterback market is like this upcoming offseason? It is freaking bad, and there's not even nearly enough quarterbacks to go around. Even worse than last year. Because in last year, you could even draft a Dak Prescott or even a Connor Cook who hasn't done anything, but still you could draft him. Now there's only 3 guys you can draft. If you draft anyone else, you're a moron. And in terms of free agent quarterbacks, there's nothing outside of Colin freaking Kaepernick. Okay, he's the best option out there. Maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, so you're in trouble. You cannot sit back and watch as Kirk Cousins go to Denver or wherever he's going to go and play well and win well. So re-sign him, but you won the game. All right, this is a big game for you. Will you make the playoffs? To be honest with you, I don't know. I've been running some simulations lately, and you guys are favorable. but it's not certain at all. You have some tough games coming up, and you need to win them. But I will say for right now, I would say your chances of making the playoffs are, let's say, likely. But again, it's going to be very tough because I think the Bucs are going to possibly win out, if not win 3 of their last 4 games. Not just win 2 of their last 3. And I think that the Giants is so close. It's either going to be between you and the Giants. That Week 17 game could be for the spot. So that'll be very interesting to see. Philly. Carson Wentz, up and down performance to say the least. Interception, fumble, and then some highlights as well. I guess you have to like his performance overall. I wouldn't be too discouraged, as I've said in the past. When I scouted Carson Wentz heading into this offseason, I said, and I was right, I believe, when I said this, Carson Wentz will be all right. He's going to be a Joe Flacco level quarterback, to where if you have a good team around him, you will be fine. And that goes for any quarterback. But he will never be great. And I think that's what we're seeing, although he has seen flashes of being great. So there's still a lot to be determined here, but he's exactly where I thought he'd be at this point. So I'm fine with where Carson Wentz is. Maybe some of you guys aren't like EDP, but I think he's fine right now. Let's move on to Pittsburgh. As Pittsburgh beats the Buffalo Bills 27-20. And, this game was snowy, and Ben Roethlisberger played awful, but it was all right, because Le'Veon Bell showed up today. Wow, what a huge game from Le'Veon Bell, as he had a number of fantasy points. If you faced him in fantasy, I know I did. But he had 38 rushes, 38 for 236 yards and 3 touchdowns. Huge game by Le'Veon Bell. And here's the thing with the Steelers. Okay, I had them making the Super Bowl before the season. Now I project they're going to win out, and they're going to make the playoffs. And will they still make the Super Bowl? I have to see how the Patriots look in the upcoming weeks. These are 2 huge matchups against the Ravens and the Broncos. If the Patriots fail to impress me, I might go back to that prediction. And I never really left. I never really said who I had making it, but there was a stretch in there where I had the Raiders and Patriots. I think a lot of people did. But now I'm starting to go back to the Steelers a little bit. They're impressing me, but I need to see more consistency from Ben Roethlisberger. And perhaps he's just not that guy that's going to be a consistent quarterback. But I need to see that before I can just go back on that ship. But I have a foot in that ship right now. As for the Bills, I was surprised when I heard earlier today, apparently y'all are firing Rex Ryan. I don't understand it. Yeah, he's not great, but he's exactly where I thought, your team is exactly where I thought you would be. He's exactly where I thought he would be. I don't know what the surprise is. Did y'all really think y'all going to make the playoffs? To me, you have to be looking at Tyrod Taylor, who hasn't been playing great this season. And to me, you have to look at your GM, who really didn't do much this offseason. You just drafted Shaq Lawson, who's been injured most of the season, Reggie Ragland, who's been injured most of the season. You didn't sign anybody. In free agency. So what the hell was everyone expecting? Of course you're not going to improve. Duh. Sign somebody. But they didn't. So fine. You're not good. You're fine, but you're not good. Next week, go beat Cleveland. Make sure you beat Cleveland. But with these Rex Ryan rumors, I'm not so sure that's going to happen, because apparently Anthony Lynn may be the interim head coach after today, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Let's move on to the San Diego Chokers. As they go to Carolina, and to me, they choke, okay? Because I thought they should have won this game. Not watching the game, but just heading into this game. Oh, the Chargers win this game. Let's move on. And they didn't, right? And I don't know why. Phillip Rivers today, he was all right, but still 3 interceptions, just way too much. He's having way too many of these games lately. You look at their offense, it's not working right now. What's his name? Travis Benjamin, he's healthy, but he is not playing. He's either not on the field or he's not doing anything. You had Melvin Gordon go down today. You had this guy, who is this guy? Kenneth Farrow, or whatever his name is, running the ball today. Talk about an unimpressive running back from what I saw. And, Dontrell Inman, he's the guy right now. And what a very unimpressive guy indeed. Tyrell Williams. I know y'all call him Randy Moss, whatever y'all call him. But look, he's not that good. He's fine, but he's all right. This Chargers team, their season's just getting even worse by the week. I'm now on the fire Mike McCoy bandwagon. Now, I wonder who you're going to hire, but I can buy that. And I would look at what's his name? Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, and I would actually maybe look to make this team maybe a little more defensive. I think you have some budding defensive stars such as Joey Bosa, Denzel Perryman, that small Jatavis Brown. You have some guys here that are developing nicely. Let's get some more play out of them, become a more defensive team, and then offensively we'll still be good because we still have Phillip Rivers who can win games for us late. So I might look to do that. They can do whatever the hell they want, though. I don't care. Carolina, who cares, right? You won a game. Does anyone care at this point? I don't know what you're playing for, other than just to ruin my picks. So that's fine, and I hate you. All right, let's move on. That was a joke, in case you couldn't tell, because I know these Panther fans are going to be ridiculous in the comment section below. Let's move on. Atlanta, they take advantage and just whoop the LA Rams 42-14, and Jared Goff. Man, this guy sucks, okay? And it's freaking bad. And, I kind of feel sorry for Jeff Fisher in this aspect. No matter what he does, he loses because his team loses, right? So that's his fault because his team loses. But in terms of Jared Goff, no matter what he does, he loses. Because if you start him, which he is now, and he plays horrible, you say, that's why I wanted to bench him, but whenever I wanted to bench him, all y'all morons were begging me to start him, so there's nothing I can do there. But this team, defensively, they're not doing anything. They let up 42 to the Falcons today. They let up 49 a couple weeks ago to the New Orleans Saints. Their defense is giving up. Absolutely giving up. And then offensively, they don't have anything. They've never had anything. Kenny Britt's their best receiver. Tavon Austin is the most inconsistent wide receiver in the National Football League. Anything that the Rams do doesn't shock me anymore. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I thank God, right? Because I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, and they're giving us a top 6 draft pick, and I'm loving them. And if I ever see Jared Goff, I might just walk up to him and kiss him on the mouth for giving my football team, a team that might be a playoff team, a top 6 draft pick. Ooh, Jared Goff, I love you, Gucci Goo, because you're doing that for me. But damn, y'all are in trouble. And it's so incredible that Stan Kroenke and just these absolute morons that are running this high school football team, really, that's what they are, could give Jeff Fisher an extension. I mean, I will never understand it. I won't. As for Atlanta, you win the game. Okay, and you're poised to still make the playoffs. Now, I'm not going to say win your division. Right now, and this is so fluid, guys, this is not a static thing. Whenever I say something, it seems because I have a matter-of-fact way of speaking, that's my tone of voice, which probably I should change, but damn it, I ain't changing. It sounds like I'm saying this is a matter-of-fact thing. Whenever I say, okay, the Falcons are likely to win the NFC South, this team is likely to win the AFC South, whatever. But the NFL, it's a fluid thing. It is not a dynamic thing. So, on my fluid projections or simulations, whatever you want to call them, right now, I have the Bucs winning this division. I just have the Bucs finishing 2-3. I have the Falcons finishing 2-3. And it's a 2-3 in which the Bucs have a better divisional record than the Falcons, because I have the Falcons losing their last game, Week 17, at Carolina. I believe that's the matchup. So, we'll see. But that's what I have right now. But under this scenario, the Falcons would still make the wild card as a 5th seed and ultimately go to Tampa Bay. Okay, so they would still face each other. It would still be an interesting matchup, and who knows who would win that. So really, you're just fighting for home field advantage if that is the way it plays out, which it very well might, because it's such a fluid thing that we need to still be working through on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute basis. So there you go. Is that every game? I talked about every game I have. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on all the NFL Week 14 games that I have not already talked about or will talk about. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly to subscribe. If you have any thoughts, comment down below. I love to know. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out.